As many of you know, after the recent situation involving the Wall Street Journal and PewDiePie transpired, subscribe! The mainstream media, or MSM, as I'm going to refer to them for the majority of this video, has been blown open, and their involvement with YouTube and YouTubers has become a lot more apparent. Today's video is talking about a channel called Jörg Sprav. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Jörg runs a channel that's related to, I guess you could say, projectiles like slingshots, airsoft guns, stuff like that. As of late, Jörg has come under a lot of fire. He's even gone to the extent of uploading a video onto his channel called The Last Video. Unfortunately, calling your video The Last Video, it's done to death at this point. It really doesn't convey your message. So I'll have to let you watch the video to get some context on the situation.
Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel. Actually, you read the title right. It's no April Fool's joke. Sadly, YouTube has just taken down one of my videos, and they also gave me a community guideline strike for it. If I get another one, then I won't be able to post a video for 2 weeks, and if I get a third one, then they will delete my channel altogether. And what worries me is that the video they took down, I think, was perfectly fine and there was nothing wrong with it.
Now you're probably wondering how a community guideline strike fits in with MSM in any kind of context. Well, it goes on to explain that 2 reporters from the Mail on Sunday actually went to his house to interview him.
Yesterday morning, on the 1st of April, although it's not an April Fool's joke, 2 reporters from the Mail on Sunday approached my house, uninvited and unexpectedly. 8:80 in the morning. I was just having a coffee in front of the news. I asked them in and gave them some coffee, and they said they want to interview me and take some pictures. And I asked them what it's about, and they said it's about my video where I tested a stab-proof vest.
So these 2 journalists appeared uninvited to this guy's house, asking for an interview. He's a kind guy, he lets them in, they do their interview, talking about a stab-proof vest being demonstrated on his channel.
I used my homemade knife. Actually, this is, of course, a knife that is designed for stabbing. I mean, it's made from a spear point, and I added this handmade handle, you know. So, and of course, there are weapons that are doing exactly like this, and they're commercially available, but I did not include the links to these. I made it by myself so that this is not an option for terrorists to copy. There are plenty of push daggers and so on that will do the job just as fine. Of course, the vest failed miserably. I was able to punch a hole right through. Actually, you can still see the punch marks here. And I also show you what happened to the plate that is inside. So this is the plate. And as you see, I stabbed it like 3 times. And you see that the triangular blade of the stabbing dagger had an easy job going through, because this isn't even steel, this is aluminum.
Now, from what I can gather, the video was demonstrating how weak these stab-proof vests are, the fact that he can stab through it and it's just plain aluminium, extremely weak, and wouldn't really give you that much protection from a knife.
And then this morning, I'm, I guess, on the title page of that tabloid, very negatively described, and you know, they are just saying that my video was vile, and they also say that this is the same vest that the policeman in the Westminster assault wore, which I don't think so. I hope they didn't. I hope Her Majesty isn't giving out crap like that to their finest cops.
So the Mail on Sunday is criticising this guy because they believe that he's writing a terrorist instruction manual showing terrorists how to perform terrorism with said or given item. I've also took a look at the article, and I really love how they've worded some of their stuff in quite a biased way to shift the reader into thinking this guy is some malicious mastermind who's a complete sociopath. German weapons obsessive Jörg Sprav uploaded a video to YouTube showing how to kill someone with a stab vest. And of course they got a picture of him maniacally smiling. They're really trying to push this image of someone who would go online and create videos that terrorists would use and carry out themselves. Google blood money. Web giant cashes in on viral 7-minute video showing knife expert penetrating a stab vest like the one worn by murdered Westminster PC.
They are saying that I'm teaching terrorists how to punch through these vests, which is nonsense. If I would have done that, I would have simply told them what parts of the body is covered by the vest, because it's so easy to punch into a place where the vest isn't even there. So there's a million, places on the human body where, this vest won't protect you.
The thing that I hate about this article is you are singling out one individual that is demonstrating something. If you want to apply this logic of one thing cannot correlate with another, then how about you take down all the videos on YouTube of people shooting body armor, doing demonstrations of that, because there's a couple hundred of videos of them floating around on YouTube. Well, they've got to go as well, because it's either all or nothing. You can't make exceptions just for a quick story. Now, I want to present a question to you. If this individual is not allowed to make a video demonstrating a stab-proof vest, then why is the person who wrote this article on him allowed to go ahead and demonstrate buying knives and bringing them onto a plane, or getting a 3D printed gun? It's quite contradictory that you criticize this guy for demonstrating a stab-proof vest, while you yourself go ahead and demonstrate other things that terrorists could use. There is actually an article of him buying knives, taking them onto a plane, and another article of him producing a 3D printed gun and bringing that onto a Eurostar.
So I was just trying to find out if that gives you real protection. And I didn't really come up with a strange weapon to do that. I just stabbed it with determination and force, just like an attacker would. What's wrong about that? I fail to understand it.
I don't see what gives you the right to do that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will make the argument saying, but he's warning the public how unsafe security is. Well, if it's unsafe, go ahead and tell fucking security. Go make a complaint, and then they'll bring that legislation into place. Don't make an article on it, but then criticize someone else for doing the same thing just because he's not a journalist. He's a YouTuber.
Now come on, does a terrorist really have to watch a YouTube video to learn that you have to stab hard if you want to pierce a stab-proof vest? I'm not sure. I mean, even those guys are probably not that stupid.
This is the worst case of double standards I've seen in a very, very long time. Now, I understand the logic that being a hypocrite doesn't invalidate your point, but this is the guy who wrote the article, and you can definitely pick up on the way he's articulating his words to portray this character that is not really anything to do with his actual YouTube personality.
And if they decide to report some more of them to YouTube, now that YouTube seems to follow the advice of a tabloid, of a UK tabloid, by all means, then if they just find 2 more of my videos that they don't like, then I'll be shut down. And I won't even have the chance to tell you guys, because they will simply switch off my channel. And of course, that would be a disaster for me, since I'm now depending on that income.
I'm pretty sure Jörg isn't in a good place at the moment. He's got a channel strike. He's worried about the future of his channel. So if you could please go to his channel, I'll leave a link. Give him some love and support. He makes great content. He's a really nice guy.
I gave up my job to entertain you guys better. And I try hard. But, of course, in a situation like this, I'm much concerned.
It's definitely times like this where we have to come together as a community. I know my channel's full of shitty style memes and stuff, but stories like this really do affect me. Because if the same thing happened to me, I wouldn't be able to justify myself. I'd have to get another YouTuber or another individual to come and vouch for me. Because when you're in the spotlight, everything you say is going to be taken with about 3 or 4 pinches of salt. One thing I want to make incredibly clear as well, I've chosen to censor the name of the guy who wrote the articles on Jörg. But obviously, I see a lot of you being Reddit detectives and going out of your way to witch hunt this guy. And I do want to say, do not do that. Do not try to find this guy who wrote the article and witch hunt him. I've displayed the articles so you can read them, and I'll probably link them in the description, but I don't want this to be a personal attack on this guy. Hence why I haven't gone off and, fucking ad hominem and all that shit. I just wanted to make it very apparent that this is a very misleading article, but I don't want the guy who wrote this article to be personally attacked. If you've got an axe to grind, then I don't know, get a fucking stress ball and put it in your mouth for a couple of minutes, alright? Don't attack this guy, because when you do that, you then give him leverage, and you lower yourself to his level. I hope none of you do that. You're probably very intelligent individuals, not to be a pandering cunt.
Stop, you beautiful bastard.
Please don't do that. Anyways, that's all I wanted to address. This video wasn't to slander MSM in general. I think some of them do produce genuinely good articles that are correct and fact-checked. But this was an example of a really sloppy article that completely misrepresented an individual. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Apologies for the more serious meme. I just felt like I had to talk about it. Thanks a lot, kids. I'll see you in the next video.
Well, I guess that's it for today, and I hope that's not it forever, you know. So, anyway, enjoy the day. Thanks, and bye-bye. Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel.